It is such a joy greeting you every week on this program, Choices. Something we expect and anticipate. And we want you to continue to remain with us, and so that you will be able to enjoy your favorite program, Choices. This morning, we want to deal with two major problems that is affecting us, not only as Guyanese, but around the world. And that is the problem with the coronavirus and domestic violence. We want to call on you to continue to protect yourself. Never mind the negative remarks. You have a duty, I have a duty to protect ourselves. While you protect yourself, you're protecting your loved ones, you're protecting those in the community, and at large, the entire nation. We are a young nation with under 1 million people. And could you imagine the lives that being lost every day? Over 300 are already dead from the coronavirus. Look at the domestic violence. Look what is happening around us. We need to open our eyes. We need to deal with these matters. If we don't deal with them, it's going to continue to rise. And so we want to challenge you, and especially our men folks, to be more responsible. What could cause you to kill a next human being like yourself? What could cause you to do something like that? One of the things I learned in life, and I'll share with you quick, is that I learned to be in situations, regardless of whatever it is, to be cool, to be calm, and to be collected. Think before you act. Don't act and think after. It is going to be too late. And so we call upon our men folks. Let's protect our women folks. Let's look at them. They're vulnerable. Some of them, they're vulnerable. Don't take advantage on them. And so from this set, we want to encourage you to live responsible. Live responsible. Let us deal. There are two major problems that, as far as I am concerned, is out of hand. But we could bring it back under control. We're the ones who have to make the decision. Remember, life is precious. It is a gift from God. And so we love you from this set of choices. That is why we could speak to you like this, not to condemn you. No, we're not here to condemn you. We're here to help you. We need help and we accept it. We're challenging you. We're throwing out the help to you today. And we trust God that you would accept it. God bless you and God continue to bless beautiful Guyana. So again, I say, welcome to you. Thank you.
You know, Proverbs 16:20 says, whoever gives heed to instruction prospers, and blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. Those who give heed to instruction, they prosper. There could be no prosperity if we are dead. There could be no prosperity if we are in prison. As you are in prison, you are locked away, and therefore things, goals that you may want to achieve, or things that you may have set for yourself, you cannot because you're incarcerated. And if you are lying in the grave, you cannot achieve anything that you may have planned for yourselves. And so, as we heard earlier, the whole issue of COVID-19 and protecting ourselves and protecting others from the scourge of this disease is so critical to us. You know, this morning in the news, we heard that for the first 4 days in May, 10 persons died from COVID. 16 persons are in the ICU, and 70-something persons are in the hospital. These numbers are frightening because there was a time when we had 2 and 3 persons in ICU. Now we have 16. When we go to that stage when you're in ICU, it becomes very problematic in terms of your survival. And so we want to, again, continue to caution our people, particularly our men who still continue to to lime on the streets, to drink freely, and just set up a table somewhere, no mask, not observing the protocols. We want to appeal strongly to our men. We want our men to live because we know our men, they have a critical role to play in the development of this nation. And if our men folk just go into oblivion, they just die, it means that we could face serious problems in terms of our economy, in terms of our advancement, in terms of leadership for families, and in terms of how people actually will develop and grow because men still serve as a cover as God would have designed, and therefore it is important. We heard about the issue of the scourge of domestic violence. Men are being imprisoned, being incarcerated because of either they murdered their spouse or they would have abused them in such a way that you're charged and you're placed in jail. Now, we want our men to understand that no man owns. One thing my father used to tell me as a young man, he said, son, man cannot own property in man. I never forget that. Man cannot own property in man. So basically, what my father was saying is that a man can't decide that another man or a woman is his property. And therefore, we have to understand that when these circumstances, face us in terms of domestic violence, you might not like what you see, you might not like what you hear from your spouse. Sometimes the best thing to do is to walk away. Walk away. I've had many times when I just walk away, or if you have a car, drive away. Because when you go off of the scene, what you were doing there is diffusing diffusing whatever contention might be brewing there. And if you understand that you cannot own property in a person, you will not want to kill the person wants to do differently because this is a human being. You're not dealing with a cardboard, you're not dealing with a car that you could smash in the window or whatever. You're dealing with a human being. And God never designed a human being to hold property in another human being. And so these are difficult things because when you're actually facing these situations, then you understand the tempo and the anger and what it can do. But the Bible talk about the fruit of the Spirit. One of the fruit of the Spirit is that of self-control. And sometimes we have to cultivate this fruit, the fruit of self-control, where we could remain quiet. Sometimes you put your finger to your lips or you just walk away, remove yourself from the scene. That in itself will give you an opportunity to rethink and to study what can be your next move. It must not be murder or it must not be battery. So we need our men to survive. We need our men to live. And we will continue on this program, to keep speaking to men and to women and to the nation generally as to how they could prosper. Heed instructions. When instructions come, the instructions come because somebody would have studied these things and decided to say, look, this is how we are to operate.
When we go online these days, we see the things that are, let me go straight to the word. We see the things that are trending. The youths know the word very well, trending. What's trending now? It means what's hot right now, what's going on right now. So what is trending right now in Guyana? COVID-19. As deaths. Are we trending in the correct direction? Is it a good trend? I'd want to submit to you, no, we're not trending correctly. Youths, I'm talking to you today. Where are we trending going? What is your behavior like? I also want to leave some buzzwords with you today. For the last few weeks, we've been talking and we've been sharing and we've been encouraging, and over those weeks, there are some words that we put out there. I just would like to repeat them. Just repeat them so we can have an even deeper understanding of why we're trending in the wrong direction and why we need to turn back. One of the first words we used was discipline. Discipline. Just pause and think about that. And when we spoke about discipline, we spoke about being self-disciplined. The best form of governance was self-governance, self-discipline. I just want to leave that word. That's the first word, self-discipline. The next one I want to leave with us is safeguard. Safeguarding yourself. I wouldn't go into it much. We can all extrapolate on that and we can all analyze it. Safeguard. Another one I want to leave with us is obey. Obey. The next one, family. Family. The next one I want to leave with us, men. We just saw 2 speakers spoke about men. Another one, leaders. Leaders. Just some buzzwords I want to leave with us as we were talking over the weeks. Leaders came out. Who must lead? Why we must lead. And the decision we all came to, everyone must lead. Political leaders, business leaders, civil society leaders, local leaders, community leaders, leaders. And the final one I want to leave with us today is citizenship. Citizenship means you, it means me, it means everyone on this panel, everyone in this forum. Citizenship, we need to come together. Brotherly love. When we have citizenship, when we understand that concept, we won't choose to go and drink and put up a table under a tree and invite our neighbors. And it is not responsible. It is not being it's not being a leader. It is not obeying. So we say citizenship encompasses all of these words. And that's what we want to leave with you today. Trend in the correct direction.
What is trending, as I can piggyback on you, I felt a little depressed, listening to some of the information that in the first 4 days, 10 persons passed as a result of being infected with COVID. That is not a good trend. And I hope that we don't continue in that direction. What is also trending is big discussion between whether you should take the vaccine or not. We know that the vaccines that have been approved, they've all been approved for emergency use. This is you don't have to be a specialist or medical doctor to know that. That is in the public domain, that all of these vaccines have been approved for medical use, for emergency use rather. The reason being is that the world is trying to mitigate between risks and benefits. That is what is happening. And it has come down to a place where you and I have to make a decision, or you and I have to make a choice between whether the risk in taking the vaccine it's higher than the benefits that could accrue that you will get if you take it. Please examine that in your own sphere and know that you don't have a whole lot of time because of how the vaccine is mutating, how it's not the vaccine, the virus rather is changing before us, right before our eyes. It's so confusing in the world. And we would want and we would wish that everybody would remain alive. And the benefits, in my view, far outweigh the risks. And this is the tough one. Young people, please do something about this.
Bishop, I was saddened and disappointed when I learned that the IPL has been suspended indefinitely. I'm referring here to the Indian Premier League. It provided good pastime to me. I mean, because of the following the protocol and all of that be endured. I know you watch cricket. But you know why that I learned is that despite all the precautions, there's something that they call a BSE, Biosecure Environment, BSE, or the bubble, that they made some stringent arrangement, all the necessary precaution to protect those players. And still 2 players came down positive with the virus. That being said, it points to the fact that we can never ever be too safe, if I can put it that way. We must take all the necessary precautions, whether you have been, even for those of us who have been vaccinated,
we are still required to wear the mask. We're still required to do hand sanitization. We're still required to keep distance. The Indian cricket board of control, they put all of those measures in place, and still persons got infected. So I'm making a special appeal here. We can never ever be too careful. We can never ever be too cautious. So the appeal is to all of us, whether you had the vaccine, and those of you who intend to take the vaccine, still follow the protocol, because like Dr. Hudson said, we're losing people, and we're losing people at a fast rate in this country, and we are a small population. So we have to fight and keep on fighting. Wear your mask. If you don't have to go out, stay indoors, stay home. People are still, it looks as though, as soon as the place gets dark, people are just coming out of the homes. Going to do what? We are spreading, I think yesterday or today, 100 and something new cases. And I saw somebody made a post. If you're not careful, you want to go out and do this here, the parlor is waiting for you. And the funeral home I'm referring to, please, brethren. I'm calling everybody brethren. Please, Guyanese. Please, countrymen. Please, 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 please. Thank you.
Dr. Lee, I
no,
don't
Doctor.
find you this emotional. I always see you as a strong military officer. And to hear you plead the way you have just now, it is touching. I want to echo you. And I say, we are fighting for you. We're not only fighting for ourselves, we all are part of this community. And what we've been doing over the last few weeks is to say, all are involved, all are consumed, and let us fight for each other. I think I'll add to my brother's list the word understanding. Because as we seek to move forward, an understanding of ourselves, an understanding of what is happening around us, an understanding even of the people who are connected to us is important. If we understand not just being able to get the vaccine, not just being able to recover from the virus, but that even after recovery, there are still several, from most reports I've heard, several, I don't know if you call them side effects, but you're not back to normal. Even if you didn't die, you still are struggling to return to normalcy. That by itself should challenge us, not even to allow our dogs to catch it. God forbid, I don't know the dogs, I'm just being on a serious matter, just being a little bit light here. But don't allow anyone to get it, because it is not normal and it's not easy to carry. And with that same understanding, I'll also like to ask us, men, as you spoke about what is trending, men, brothers, please understand yourself. I'm not sure we have maintained the principles we were taught, or the where we have come from. We are sourced from God, and to beat up upon ourselves the way we do, and to murder ourselves the way we do. And I say ourselves because in the original intent, when Adam said, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, he was actually saying to God that this woman has come out of me. Her joy is my joy. Her pain is my pain. And so to stab up a woman is like stabbing up yourself. You have to lose it upstairs to actually do that. If you walk on the road and see me spitting up on myself, boxing up myself, you say, hey, bro, let's take Pastor Simon to the doctor. Something is wrong with him. So when we do that, something has gone wrong. Let us return to where we need to be in the presence of God.
All right, we were just talking about trend lines and trying to break these trends and understand this trending situation. Let me tell you something, right? I have no affinity, no love. I have no appreciation for things like these lockdowns and these quarantines, but I understand the strategy. What they're trying to do is they're trying to disrupt the trend, right? When you're dealing with projections and all of that, there comes a point where you could either have a breakout where the trend starts to increase, or you have a breakdown where they cancel those where whatever happens, the trend breaks down. All right. And why these things are put in place is because they're trying to disrupt the trend. All right. That's why there's so many lockdowns. That's why there's so many quarantines. I personally have, as I said, no love for them. All right. I hate this entire thing where you lock down borders, where you can't see and you can't meet and you can't interact with people. But the reason these things are put in place is because of the long-term benefit in order for us to move back to a state of normalcy. All right. So it's not about, if anybody tells you that they love this quarantine and I can't wait for the next lockdown, I don't know, something wrong with that person, right? But it's important for us to submit to these guidelines because it's about getting society back to a place where we could interact, where we could fly where we want to fly, go where we want to go, meet and greet with whoever we want to meet and greet with, and return to a place, right? A place of life again, a place where we're comfortable to interact and move with other people. So with this entire trending thing, that's the reason why these things are in place. It's not about you liking it or loving it. It's just about you submitting to it so we can move past this period as a people.
The whole question that we have, we dealing with this question of the slaughter of women, the abuse of women by men. And you have a few cases where the reverse happens. But we want to call men back to order. We subscribe, as faith leaders, in the faith community. We believe that the man and the woman were made in the image and likeness of God, with distinct responsibilities and obligations. And when man was designed, he was told that he had dominion over fish, fowl, birds of the air, animals, and so on. There was a limit. He never said, the creator that is, that man had dominion over each other. And I think that is what Dr. Hudson's father pointed out. We don't have them, we don't own. Brother, I don't care how wealthy you are, how gifted you are. However, you perceive yourself, you do not own a woman. You don't own the females in your life. You don't own your wife. If you have a dog, you own the dog. If you have a parrot, you own the parrot. If you have a tower, and you could put them in how many collars you want to put them in, and travel between Guyana, between Georgetown, and the border. If you go over with the tower, the people can deal with you. You can't put a woman in a collar. You can't bind a woman. You can't treat a woman that way. And we have to come back. So whether you're drinking beer or a harder stuff, that must be the discussion again. We have to change this discussion. Remember Sparrow sang, "You gotta cuff them down"? That was responsible for a lot of problems. We have to begin the discussion all over again, that men, we do not have that kind of responsibility, that kind of duty. Just had a blackout. We don't have that sort of duty and or responsibility. We have to go back to our original mandate of caring, of rearing, of protecting, of providing. And we call men back to that place, not abusing. It is not written in the fine print.
We are free. How do we know this? First Peter 2 tells us this, verses 16 and 17. We are free, but we're not free to do evil. You and I, gentlemen, you and I, ladies, we all free, but we're not free to do evil. We to honor all men, honor the brotherhood. We need to respect authorities. So we are free, but freedom comes with a responsibility. And men, we spoke about being leaders earlier. Men lead, and we lead by having a good example. Thank you.
Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, eat and drink, saith he to thee, but in his heart he is not with thee." Let us align our heart with this message. Don't just let it go over our minds. Don't let it just stay outside or just be something that we're repeating. Align your heart with it. Align your belief system. Hear the message. Try your best to let it resonate in your heart, in your mind, in your belief system, and do the right thing. Do not harm our women, folks. Do not break the COVID guidelines. Let it resonate with your heart. Thank you very much.
Well, we want to thank you for being with us. As we are recording, I think right across we have a major blackout in the system. But we are hoping to deliver this program safely to you whenever it is shown. Please, let us pay attention to benefiting ourselves, benefiting our family, our community, our nation, and be protecting ourselves in the face of this pandemic. And secondly, we want to challenge all of our brothers and also our sisters. Please respect each other and let us hold hands together to build rather than destroy. This is Choices. God bless you. And the Lord willing, we'll see each other next week.
I'm Celicia on behalf of the set, reminding you that your whole life is the sum of your choices. God bless you.